This Random Adventure starts off with my buddy VJ from work. He does quality at the location in Clovis. Next up, we have our leadership group with quality. It's a mixture of Visalia, Clovis, and Fresno. The gentleman in the back there with the beard, that is my boss. These are airplanes that are waiting in San Francisco. Thought I'd take a picture of all the airplane butts just hanging out in the parking lot. Definitely went to Pronto's. Had this Cuban sandwich and some dirty chips. I love dirty chips. They're so delicious. They're crispy. The sandwich, you'll see on the next slide, was not bad. It was a Cuban sandwich. Delicious. I mean, for airport food, what do you expect? The young kid up there in the corner of the picture, though, you see him talking to his dad. He got in trouble. Him and his other brother got in an argument. I don't know this lady's name, but she did not like sharing the window view. She only went halfway and then would not move her big old head out of my way. So, not very talkative on the plane. Then I landed from San Francisco to Cleveland, Ohio. I was down there for a week working. But their airport had tons of artwork. They had a lot of these oversized guitars that different organizations painted. And they were like set up in different styles. So some you'll see straight up and others in angles. I like going around looking at the artwork. And then of course they had the dinosaurs set up as well. But you'll see a lot of these guitars just around the airport. It was really cool. I mean, the artwork is pretty amazing. They had the guitars, they had tile work, and then some actual artwork on the wall. This one had like the roots or vines were the guitar strings. There was one I did miss though. It was a huge, like, rusty guitar. I should go back and take a picture of it. But there was a big old rusty guitar there too. It was pretty big. Here's the tile work I told you about. This one had like the steel factories, and of course that's the smoke coming out of the steel mill. And then there's the other side of it. So you see the steel mill with the trees and the lights and the smoke coming through. But a lot of tile work. It was really nice. It really adds to the color of the airport. There's like three-dimensional sign. A lot of people like laying on these things. I don't know why. Like you see a little group in the corner there. Like there was tons of chairs. There was tons of places to sit. But for some reason, they wanted to sit on the sign. My first night, or second night over in Ohio, I stopped at a place called the Burtonwood Tavern. If you follow me on Yelp, get on Yelp, check it out. The reviews are okay. Customer service was a little slow getting in. Like, as you see, they were not very busy. They had a couple of little parties in the back. They were about an hour before they're going to close. But it was just very tough to get a seat. People saw you standing there just waiting, and they didn't come up and help. And then finally, one girl did. But this is the lobster soup that they had. I got a double smash burger and some fries. Fries were very crispy. It must have been fancy ketchup, but it was delicious. The burger was pretty good. Price-wise, a little pricey, but it was okay. There's the bar. That was a regular that went there, and they stormed around him. I guess they hadn't been there in a while, and they just chatted with him for a long time. But no harm, no foul. At least I got my food and my soda. I like to have dessert first, so this lava chocolate cake with ice cream came out first before my food, and I ate it all. I hate stopping at chain restaurants, but I have this thing about Arby's that I love. We have one here locally in Visalia, but I'll always stop at Arby's, even in the middle of the night, to get a cheddar sandwich. This one is Hooley's. This is the Irish egg rolls. They're really good. They're like sauerkraut and all that fun stuff in it. And the dipping sauce that came with it as well. The Reuben sandwich, pretty good. Toasted bread. The chips are okay. I mean, it's like ugly chips, but they were just really not flavorful. But, I mean, other than that, the sandwich, you can see the sandwich. It was just full of meat and flavor. I don't even think I finished it. I only ate half. But one of the days I decided to go over to the Hall of Fame over in Canton, Ohio. So I drove over. It was about 25 minutes away from where I was, but it was fun. So there it is, Pro Football Hall of Fame. Parking, huge parking lot. They're like adding on a hotel and water park. Vicky at the front door, super nice lady. There's a sign just to while you're walking in. It's on the right hand side, but just want everybody to know where I was at. History of football. So it starts off. It starts from the beginning all the way to now, and man, it's just emotionally like takes you back seeing all these items here and knowing that you watch football. You know, I mean, I'm 45, so I've been watching it since I was a kid to now. You know, seeing these players like DeMarcus Ware and their jerseys or their shoes or their trophies. Oh my gosh, it's just so overwhelming. And then you know, there's me with all the other football players. Yeah, and see how far their equipment has come from like the beginning to now, and all these safety measures they take, and how the trophies change so much, and football styles change. I mean, look at this. They even had a Dodger sweater there because one of the coaches would wear it on the sideline all the time. So that's really cool. It's so much knowledge to take in, and as you're walking through there, you're just baffled by all of it. You're just like you just can't believe it. So much. They did have a Steelers display. I took this one, Terry Bradshaw's helmet. But they did have like a separate display of all their Super Bowl rings. They were celebrating like the first time they had gone to the Super Bowl. But when you see some of these displays, like you'll see like Tim Brown and John Elway and all these like jerseys just in glass. And a lot of them are game worn jerseys. And it's crazy because you're like, wow, like Tim Brown wore this, or John Elway, or Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, all these guys. It's unbelievable to see their game worn jerseys there, or their shoes. Like I said, the footballs. This one you got to make the call to see what the play was, so that was kind of fun. Like I just threw the headphones on and messing around. A lot of interactive stuff that you can do and play with screens and touch screens and stuff to kind of play while you're there. It keeps you busy. It was about $40 some odd to walk through it. It's a self-guided tour. You take your time. I took it all the way up to the end of 5 o'clock, so I got there about 3:05, and then till they closed. The bus, there's tons of bus. This is the ones that are just for the Steelers. They pulled them all out of the actual room that has them all. These are all the inducted Steelers. But look at that. It's so nuts. Like all these guys, like just their heads on a wall. This one, of course, I'm a Cowboy fan, so diehard Cowboy fan. So Troy Aikman is on this one. Of course, his bus back there in the corner, and then a lot of things about him. It was just cool to go to Canton, check out the Hall of Fame. Thank Billy for reminding me that that's where I was at. I was looking for stuff to do, and he was all like, "Yeah, you got to go check out the Hall of Fame." And this is that display I told you about with the Steelers. They have their Super Bowl rings there. Yeah, you don't leave the cabinet unlocked because I'll take one of them and put them on. No, I'm just kidding. The gentleman that was there walking around telling you about the details of each display, he had a sample one that he let you try on. So I took that opportunity to put one on. Oh, man, Big Ben. Gosh, this guy, seen him play for years. Not a good runner, but, man, just a big, tall guy. One of the best teams, that's America's teams right there, Dallas Cowboys. This one is an interactive screen. You press on, it tells you about all the Hall of Famers, specifically just for the team. There's Jimmy Johnson's bust. That guy, man, that guy never gets old, I swear. Same haircut, never gets old. Looks exactly the same. This guy. Of course, I just took all of the Cowboy ones, but when you walk in this room, there's tons of them in there. You just takes you back. There's so many people that have been inducted in the Hall of Fame. But of course, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, so most of these pictures here of their busts are just Cowboys. Emmitt Smith. Of course, that was Michael Irving, and yeah. All right. So then they have this interactive like screen that you could touch and it tells you about each player. Um, you know, Michael Irving, of course. Number 88. It's showtime, man. It's just showtime. But yeah, so it kind of tells you about his career and runs through like Super Bowl wins or MVPs and tells each story about each player that has been taken into the Hall of Fame. So it's really cool. We get to see little clips and stuff. There's like I think 4 of those stations, and the sound kind of projects to you. Tom Landry, coach for the Cowboys many years ago. Like I said, a lot of interactive stuff. They have this theater you can go into, and it has Joe Namath in there. And he kind of just talks about being a team player and going out there and doing the second half of your life. After it, you don't get to record inside of it, but when you come out of it, they have these inspirations quotes and stuff on the wall. I think that was really cool. I took pictures of them. Don Shula. I don't know any other way to lead but by example. That's really good. This one kind of just goes over like the course of time, from coaches and kids and all that fun stuff to now. I just thought I'd take this one of Mahomes, his jersey, because they're in the Super Bowl. They're playing the 49ers this year, 2024. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to add him in there. There was a commercial made for NFL. They used these little dolls for the commercial. Not all of them were in there, though. There were some that were missing that I noticed, but a good portion of them were in there. And, of course, I wanted to take because it has number 88 in it. But there was a lot of people in there. It was kind of cool. Michael Parsons plays for the Cowboys. This guy, man, crazy. He's just a solid player when he plays. Like, he's just really tough to take down. They had a section in there for women in the NFL. I don't know. It's just like the season for things, I guess. The Vince Lombardi Trophy. They had one on display in there, so I kind of went in there. It was cool. It's like all these windows in the back were glass. Let's see. Dallas Cowboys went to Super Bowl. That was in '77. They won that one. So they had like their ball and stuff there. Tons of Cowboy trophies. I just took pictures of them because I thought they were pretty cool. More Cowboy trophies. If you look really close, you can see my phone in there. My big old fat head taking the picture. I'll try to veer off to the side. They had this huge Xbox One section where you can go in there and sit down and play games of the football, which was really cool. Of course, these guys, they had kids, but their kids were running all over the place. They have a lot of interactive, these screens, touch screens and stuff, and it shows up on the wall there. But a lot of stuff was really neat. It was just very interactive. You can walk in and look, here's that Xbox One section again. There's another Xbox you could play right there. I mean, they had it was enough. If it was a busy day, you could see how that area would get crowded. And so this is the last picture of me heading back to my car from the Hall of Fame. Just want to make sure you didn't think I stole these pictures from online. This is really cool. Like behind the stadium, when you're driving out, this is the electrical wire telephone pole out there. It's the football field goal. Food, fantastic. I drove around. I actually went down through Canton, and I stopped at this place who had, of course, dessert first. So it was a cheesecake, which I learned later on that they got it from the town that I was staying in. There's a bakery there, which I'm going to try to hit up one more time. But the details, look at the little cheesecake on top of the cheesecake. Thought that was cool. This was some cayenne, Parmesan fries. It was pretty good. The sauce was pretty good too. It was like a garlic sauce for the fries. This picture was kind of blurry, but I just wanted to take it anyway, put it in there. But the fries were pretty good. In case you didn't see them on the first 2 pictures that I took, I wanted to make sure I got really close so you could see exactly what the fries look like. And then I got scallops. It was like a cheesy rice side, and then I got green beans on top. It was sea urchin scallops, but they were delicious. I like Starboard Arby's. I told you I have an addiction. So this is my second time at Arby's. It was almost midnight. This one was open till midnight, but I like it. Heading back. So heading back, I like to take pictures of the artwork, and of course, look at someone has like an alien and pulling up a body. I thought that was kind of different. This is like a school that donated their pictures to the airport, and then the airport framed them, of course, and put them up. Tile work again. Look at the tile work. It's just amazing in the airports that I go to. The one I was kind of disappointed was Denver because they were actually remodeling it, so there was nothing there. In there's a place called Great Lakes Brewing Company. It is out of Cleveland, Ohio. This one was actually at the airport, but I stopped to try it out, and the beer was amazing there. I think this is the first time I drank, or no, second time I drank since I got there, because of work. So this is a crab cake burger with a side of fries, and then I put in some of my hot sauce into my ketchup, and I mixed it around to give it a little kick. But overall, pretty good. I had to wait a couple hours for my flight, so for lunch I had the pulled pork or carnitas nachos in the airport right across my gate, gate 24. There's artwork all over the place. So this is the Cleveland, Ohio one still. Some of it I looked at and kind of understood it. Some of it I like this one. I have no clue what this is. Guess like artwork, you just interpret it to what you believe it should be. One of the restaurants there had the trophy, but it was like, this is the one in San Francisco. They had the San Francisco restaurant in the airport, and I didn't eat there because I'm not a huge fan of the Giants. But yeah, this is a lobster soup that I had that was delicious. No animals were harmed in this making of this film. Just my 1 week in Ohio eating. I have a follow-up video coming up soon of me eating even more food for 2 weeks in Ohio, but this is the 1 week that I was there. Have a great day. Bye.